E papaki ana nā nari o te wai te mata ki runa ki nā one i o kau. Ka piki taku te tiro ki taku tūpuna whare, te pūru o tāmaki, te nohonga o rātau ma. Tēnei mātou e mihi nei ki a rātau. Ka piki taku ki runa taku te tiro ki tō tātou nei whenua rangatira. Ki runa te rā tō tātou nei whare e tūhihi ana, ko tumutumu whenua tērā. Ka hurige taku kanohi ki nā mauna katoa tāmaki, tēnei au e mihi ana ki a rātau. Tēnei au e mihi ana ki a tātou e nā uri o tuperiri, o tau rā e tai mai tēnei pō. Tēnei te pō o whakamutunga mo tēnei o nā ahuatana, kai mui a tātou, no reira tēnei rā nā mihi. Tēnei ahau e mihi ana ki nā waiwai me nā reke, e mahia e whakarite ana e nei o nā kaupapa, no reira tēnā koutou. Huri ake nā mihi ki a rātou nā tini aitua. Pongaro atu i te pō, tēnei mātou e mihi nei, e tangi nei. E tangi tonu ana ki a rātou. O tau rā kua wehe, tēnei rā nā mihi. Huri no ki a tātou e hoa mā, nā uri, o mihi anō tāku ki a koutou rā. Anei tātou e huitahi nei, no reira tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Ei tēnei wā ka tai mai mātou, kai raro i te mana, o tō tātou nei iwi, no reira tēnei ahau e mihi ana, ki a tātou e huitahi nei tēnei pō. Me tuku atu nā mihi ki nā kai whakarite o te pō nei, koutou rā nā ringaringa, nā rekereke, nā waiwai. E whakarite a tēnei pō, no reira tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. I tēnei wā ka tukuna te rākau ki taku nei pō tiki, ki a Monique, no reira tēnā koutou katoa.
Tēnā koe e te tuakana. E te ti, e te tā, e ngā uri o tuperiri nau mai hoki mai ki te wānanga āhiko tuawhā o mō Ngāti Whātua Ora Kei Trust. Kia ora i te whānau. Oh, it's awesome to be back here again. We've decided to do another one because it's come through and it's had good reviews and good ratings. So we've been able to deliver this to you guys again today. So just remember whānau, our kaupapa tonight is about the special general meeting. And we have with us our 4 guest panelists. We've got the old guy back, Jamie Sinclair. He's the one that knows everything about everything in regards to the SGM. So nau mai hoki mai Jamie, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Monique, you're too kind. Kia ora te whānau, great to be with you for this one. Really looking forward to it, so kia ora.
And we have the tuakana of us all and of our Poari, Marama Royal, tēnā koe Marama.
Tēnā koe Monique, tēnā koe te whānau, e mihi aroa, e mihi mahana ki a koutou katoa. Great to be back. I wasn't expecting to be on tonight, but I'm glad to be here, especially in the great company that I've got here tonight, especially with my cousin down there in Whakatane, who's looking rather handsome online tonight.
Kia ora Marama. And finally, awesome to have my tuakana Are Kataramahi, aka Cuts Mahi. Kia ora, bro.
Hey, kia ora, sis. Kia ora tātou te whānau. Big Mehi from Whakatane. Hope you're all well. Kia ora.
Well, whānau, we're back at it again. This is our last webinar regarding the special general meeting, and I just want to say that it's been an awesome journey and an awesome experience because most of this kind of kaupapa is the first for us, but we hope to be delivering a lot more kaupapa to you via this forum because we're able to reach all of our whānau no matter where they live. We've been able to touch base with our whānau in Australia, our whānau throughout Aotearoa. So that's been awesome for us. Well, whānau, just to let you know how tonight's going to be run. We are going to do a similar setup to what we did last week, which was when we had Jamie Sinclair, the CEO for Ngāti Ora Kei Trust, deliver our presentation. And then throughout the presentation, if you have any pātai whānau, please send them through send them through via the chat on Zoom. Send through your pārtai, because that's what this kaupapa is all about. We want to ensure that all of our whānau are fully informed when they make their votes, either online or if you post your votes. So we've got the information for you tonight, whānau. Also, just to let you know that we've got our ninja, Natasha, our General Counsel, Natasha Strong, so she'll also be online to help answer any other pārtai that you may have. But we will ask some to our panelists, whānau, so please send those through. Tonight we've got, once again, 5 of these limited edition Ngāti Whātua umbrellas. So we've got 5 of these up for grabs, whānau. So these will go out to whānau that 5 lucky winners that will, whoever asks us pārtai, we will send you those. I think we were able to send a few around the motu and over to Australia. So that was awesome. Ka pai whānau, just going through my checklist here. And I think that's it. So we'll hand the time now over to Jamie. Kia ora, Jamie.
Oh, kia ora, Monique. Kia ora anō e te whānau. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou katoa. It's wonderful to be with you again tonight. Really looking forward to the session. Hey, before I start, I just want to make a couple of thank yous. This is our last webinar for the SGM, and as Monique said, it has been an awesome journey. I do want to thank everybody that's worked really hard in the background, the Trust Office, the elected representatives, amazing mahi to get all of these things set up. There's a lot of work involved, so I just want to make a special mihi out to everybody that's helped set these things up. And a special thank you to you, whānau. You know, we've had great attendance at these webinars, great pārtai. We've put all the pārtai that you've had up on the website, so really want to thank you for engaging. It's really shown the power and the value in these forum, and we're definitely keen to continue, but obviously kanohi ki te kanohi is obviously our preferred, where we can to get round to see you. That's the best, but this is another way to reach you. So just a really quick note from me. So in terms of the agenda for tonight, quite similar to last week, we're going to cover again the background to the SGM. Why are we doing it? What is a special general meeting? Why is it special? I do want to talk after that around the voting process, around your voting packs, around the ways you can vote, and also a little bit of the logistical issues, I suppose, or the logistical information pertaining to how we'll run the SGM on the 13th of September. Because whānau, that's only a week and a half away now. So not this weekend, next weekend, we'll be holding our SGM. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on how we're going to run that, given we're in a COVID situation. I'll talk now then through the special resolutions, and those are the resolutions that we're proposing to put up as part of the SGM, which is really the purpose of why we're doing this, is around those changes that we're proposing through the resolutions that we're putting up. So we'll talk through those, and obviously as we go, please put your pārtai up. We'll answer as many as we can tonight, and any that we can't get to, we will of course follow up in the follow-up correspondence and on the website. Thanks as well to, of course, our panel, Marama and Cuts. Great to have you both. They will be contributing throughout the course of the presentation, and I'm sure answering some of your pārtai too. So yeah, really great to have them both online and for this last webinar for the SGM. Okay, without any further ado, I'll move us to the background to the SGM. So this is really about what is a special general meeting, what makes it special. Well, a special general meeting is not something we do all the time or regularly at all, really. We've never had a special general meeting since we've had our settlement in 2011. This is the very first special general meeting that we'll be holding. So they're only used and they're only held to pass what's called special resolutions. And special resolutions are resolutions pertaining to very specific take. So, and these are outlined in the trust deed. So example would be if we were looking to make a major transaction, if we were looking to sell a very significant portion of our assets, we would need to put that to a special resolution and have that confirmed through a special general meeting. If we were looking to wind up the trust one day, that would require a special resolution, and we would have to put that to a special general meeting to have that passed. And the other key one is, of course, changes to our trust deed. Changes to our trust deed require a special resolution or resolutions and to be passed through a special general meeting. So it's a very important process. It's very rigorous. It has its own rules and requirements as outlined in the trust deed. And there are some protections around special resolutions and how they are passed as well. Because of the importance and the significance of those resolutions, and because they're not for everyday things, each resolution needs to pass by 75% majority of those who make a vote, an eligible vote. So that is a very high bar, of course, to pass. It's not just a majority, it is a 75% majority. So of those that vote, and hopefully you've all voted or you're about to vote, each resolution will need to have a 75% majority in favour to have it passed before that becomes effective, if you like. Very significant hurdle. So that's a little bit about what makes a special general meeting special and what are the nature of special resolutions. Perhaps Marama, I'll pause there. Marama, you might have anything further to add around the background to this particular SGM or anything further to contribute on that particular topic?
No, you've covered it all. I suppose just one comment from me is that this is just not unique to Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei. This is common with those that operate under a trust deed. So it's not something that is there specifically for us. It is part of a trust deed that could be with any other iwi or organisation.
Kapai. Thanks, Marama. Yep, that's exactly right. It's very common. Our processes are set by us, and we need to follow those. So, and of course, this has been a while in the making too. It's been a few years of thinking about what we need and where we want to go in the future. And so this is really, the time is now for us to put these resolutions and put these proposed changes up to the whānau to vote. So without just moving on to voting itself, it is really important. We're getting into the last kind of couple of weeks of the voting period. I want to talk a little bit about the mechanisms or the ways you can vote, and also the logistics around the special general meeting itself. So whānau, you hopefully would have all received, and you would have gone through your voting pack. You would have received hopefully a voting form, looks like this, which has the resolutions and instructions on how to vote. Very important documents. Also included in that pack will be your notice and this wonderful information booklet, which includes all the details you need to know about why we're making the changes, what the rationale for the changes are, and then outlines every single change that we're proposing to make to the trust deed. So really, really important. If you want to know all the details around the changes that we're proposing, please have a look through this information booklet. It's really, really valuable resource. For those who want to as well, we have on our special general meeting website an actual marked up copy of our trust deed. So what we've done is we've said, okay, what would the trust deed changes look like in our existing trust deed? So there's a copy on our website that you're able to go and have a look and see what the changes actually mean, if it's a little bit hard to follow all the detail in the booklet. So that's our voting pack. Moving on to the voting options, there are effectively 3 options for voting. There's an online voting option, which we're very pleased to be able to bring to whānau this time. It is the first time that Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei's had online voting for a meeting such as this. And postal voting, of course, you'll all be familiar with postal voting. That is obviously still an option. There's a third option, which is going to be available in the situation where we're able to have it, which is an in-person voting. So that will depend largely on whether or not we can hold the SGM in person at the marae. Obviously, the COVID restrictions will dictate whether or not that is possible. So what I would encourage whānau on this is to really focus on prioritising online voting or postal voting as your option, because and don't just rely on the fact that you'll be able to vote in person, because depending on the restrictions, we may not be able to hold an in-person hui. That doesn't mean we won't be holding an SGM. It just means that we might not be able to hold it at the marae in person as we would normally do. It will be an online SGM. So really important closing dates. So for postal votes, they're closing midday on the 8th of September. And for online votes, they will close at midday on the 13th of September, or the date of the SGM itself. So whānau, I know that we've had some questions around online voting. I hope those who are keen have given it a go. I've been told it's really easy. Obviously, I'm not able to vote myself, but I heard it's very, very straightforward. In terms of how you do it, go to that voteonline.co.nz. All the instructions are on your voting paper. It gives you the website address. It gives you your unique access code and unique password. Those are yours, whānau. Those are your individual details. That will then allow you to follow the instructions and cast your votes and submit those votes for counting on as part of the SGM. So yeah, if you just look at the access codes in the back of your document, that'll give you all the instructions you need to be able to vote. voteonline.co.nz/orake is the address. It is really important, whānau, before you cast your votes, that you do read all the supporting information, ask any pātai, look through the booklet, look through the amended trust deed, and make sure that you've had a kōrero with your whānau. Talk to anybody, ask the questions you need to ask, because we want you to make a really informed decision and vote the way that you think is right. Yeah, before I move on to the logistics of the SGM, I might just pause there. There might be some pātai from whānau or marama cuts. Hopefully you guys voted. How did you find it? Is there anything you'd like to add to that particular voting kōrero?
Yeah, kia ora, Jamie. Kia ora tātou whānau. I actually did find it rather easy today. I voted today, whānau, and I utilised the online voting system. And then, you know, as Jamie said, you just follow the process that's on the back of this. And he māmanui hona mahi. And it's, as long as you've read the supporting information and you know which way you want to vote, and that can be really fast. So I encourage everyone to get out and do it before we have to shut it down. So online voting is how I went. I saved us 40 cents, whānau. You know, it's pretty good. Yeah, kia ora tātou.
Oh, kia ora, Cuts. Thank you. Great to
Yeah,
hear.
kia ora whānau. I was the same. I voted online, although I did fill out my voting form. But then realised that online was probably the easiest way, because every time I took the envelope with me up to Eastridge, I kept forgetting to put it in the mailbox. So it kept coming for a ride for me. And in the end, online was the easiest way to do it. Took me less than a minute actually to do it, and it was done and dusted. So yeah, whānau, as Kat says, we need your votes. We need you to have your voice. So please encourage your whānau to get on there and put those votes through. Kia ora.
Ai, tautoko. I voted online, whānau, during COVID, so that was actually easier for me. And my father also came up, and we did his voting online too. So I just connected him up, hooked him up, and then he just went away and did it. So it was easier for our kaumātua too. So they didn't have to go up and post during COVID, so that was good.
Oh, kia ora, Monique. Kia ora, panel. That's awesome. Great to hear. It's so easy. Look, before I stop for pātai, I just want to touch on the logistics of the SGM itself. So this is really about how we can conduct the special general meeting safely for whānau and for, of course, our kaimahi. It will depend on the COVID-19 alert levels. So if we are in the situation that we're in an alert level 1, we will be able to hold both an online hui and a hui in person at the marae. If we're at alert level 2, it gets a little bit more complicated. We will obviously still hold an online hui, but whether or not we're able to hold a hui at the marae in person will depend on those gatherings. So in Auckland, as you may know, we currently have a gathering restriction of only 10. At that level, we would not be able to hold the hui at the marae as well. If those restrictions are changed this week on Friday to say 100, well, that would change the situation, and we would therefore be able to safely, in the right way, conduct a SGM both online and in person. So whānau, it will depend on those restrictions. We will obviously give you plenty of notice as soon as we find out what happens this week. That will determine how we will proceed. But regardless of whether or not we've got the restrictions in place, we will be running an online hui as part of the process. So whānau, we'll make sure that you've got the information to dial in, to get registered, to get onto that webinar for the SGM. It is really important, whānau, that you do attend the SGM. So voting is one thing. It's really important to vote, of course, and have your voice heard. But to make the votes valid, to make them count, we need to have 100 registered whānau, registered adult whānau at the SGM. So that's either in person or online, or combination of both. So to make it effective, we need to have 100 whānau. So that's another special rule that's associated with special general meetings. They have to have 100 whānau to make a meeting valid. We will close the voting during the SGM, so 12 o'clock midday during the SGM, we will shut the voting off, and the results will be known shortly thereafter. The results are being collated and coordinated by Election Services, which is an independent provider of election services, both for the online voting and if there is any ballot box voting on the day. They'll be taking care of all of that. So really looking forward to the hui next week, whānau. Get ready for the online hui. Hopefully we can have some in person too. But yeah, make sure that you do attend whichever way you can to make sure that we get that 100 quorum up for the SGM. Monique, I'll pause there and just see if there's any pātai that are coming through from our whānau online.
No pātai yet, Jamie, so everything must be loud and clear for our whānau. Don't forget, whānau, send through your pātai pertaining to each kaupapa, and we'll ensure that we can either ask them to our panelists, or our ninja, Natasha Strong, our General Counsel, will be online to answer them. Kia kaha, whānau.
Kia ora. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, whānau, definitely. Any pātai is a good pātai, so keen to hear. Move on now to the resolutions that we're proposing for this SGM. So these are the special resolutions that we are putting forward for the SGM this year. There are 7 resolutions, whānau, that you'll be able to vote on, and again, it's all those resolutions are listed on your voting pack, and they're also listed voting for paper, and they're also listed in the information booklet. There are 7 resolutions relating to 6 topics, and I'll go through each topic and each resolution, or the panel will go through each topic and each resolution over the next little bit. 2 of the resolutions relate to membership, and then there's 1 resolution pertaining to loan ratios, electronic voting nominations, hui and notices, changes to the Trust Act 2019, some improvements to the overall functioning of the trust and the trust deed, and then some corrections and fixes up, if you like, of the trust deed to improve the quality of the document. So those are the topics, and there are 7 resolutions that are covered in terms of what we're putting forward to make those changes effective. Okay, moving on to the first resolution, whānau. This resolution is in relation to membership of Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei. So very, very important change. Not a lot of words, but quite significant in terms of impact. So this resolution amends the definition of Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei and effectively changes the membership criteria, if you like, to reflect that the definition of hapu in Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei now includes that in order for an individual to be a member, that person must be a toto or blood descendant of Tupuriri. So this is really important, whānau, because it does change. We've explicitly included that requirement that the member or the applicant must be a toto or blood descendant of Tupuriri to meet the criteria for membership. Obviously, that's important. But what I would say is that if it is passed on the 13th of September, it does not affect the membership status of existing members or those who are currently in process of being finalised. So it will only relate, that definition will only apply to members applying or potential members applying after the date that the resolution is passed. So after the 13th of September. Marama or Cuts, you might want to add something to this particular topic.
Nothing from me, Jamie. You've covered it, and the information booklet covers it all as well. So kia ora.
Yeah, same. Jamie. I think it's now over to the whānau to consider which way they want to move. It is a big question, and there's some people that will be impacted by it. But yeah, it's in our hands, whānau. So please make sure you have your say. Kia ora tātou.
Kia ora Kat. Thanks. Thanks for that. Thanks, Marama. The second resolution pertaining to membership relates to the ability to remove members. So the current trust deed does not allow for members to be removed from the trust, members to be removed. So what we're proposing here is a process to help ensure the integrity of the trust, of the membership base, that if any new members post the 13th of September are found that there is the membership definition is not met, then there will be a process outlined, and there is a process outlined in these changes to enable us to remove that member. So it's not something we would do lightly, of course, and I just want to reiterate, it does not relate to existing members. It will only relate to new applications post the 13th of September. So again, it's just enabling that giving us that ability to do that, which is not currently in place in the trust deed. Whānau, around this membership as well, I would just note that the trust changes also make it explicit that we are able to allow for benefits. So the trustee or the trust board are allowed to provide for benefits for whānau who may be not members, but who are closely connected to members. So this sort of acknowledges, and this is what we heard through our haerenga and through our kōrero with the taumata and with others, that it was really important that we have recognise or have an ability to recognise those whānau that may not be members, but they're an important part of our community. So it's really, really important that we have made that explicit, that the trust board is empowered, if you like, to provide benefits for those whānau who are not members but closely connected to members. So that's really the first topic, the first two resolutions relating to membership. I'll pause there just in case there's any part-time, Monique, from the whānau.
Kia ora, Jamie. There doesn't seem to be any part-time actually coming through from our whānau, so maybe they've watched all 4 webinars and now they're fully informed and and understand it, and maybe they're linked on tonight just to double check before they hopefully make their vote tonight or tomorrow. But yes, no other pātai. But I guess just a pātai there for you, Cuts. Pehea o whakaro e pā ana ki te tikanga, I guess. I guess that's something that would be for our taumata, kaumata and whānau whānui, around a tikanga, around whāngai. Pehea o whakaro.
Kia ora, Monique. A stack up pass? No. I think times have definitely changed. Whakaro has changed about the terminology and the practice of whāngai. For me personally, my whakaro was this. In the times of my grandparents, they knew their older people. So they knew the relationships that's how they and why they would have taken on whāngai. In today's society, we already have big enough families, and I think we actually would find it hard to take on other people as whāngai. So our whakaro towards that is slightly different. For us, it's still, when we talk about tikanga, it definitely has to come back through the taumata and our kaumātua, because they are our guiding principles and our guiding stars, because that's their right. As it was in the old days when those old people did what they did, it's now their turn to participate in that position. So that's their responsibility, and hopefully it's it works out for everybody. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Do you have anything to add to that, Marama?
No. He tautoko te kōrero o Cuts. Absolutely, our kaumātua are really, really important, and they have been the ones assisting us as we've worked our way through the scope, through this kaupapa. For our future generations, it's really important that we try and get this sorted now, so that they're not having to deal with it, in future years. So I'm really excited. I think that there is always a place for whānau who have grown up with us, and I don't know whether we call them whāngai. To me, they're still cousins. They're still my nieces and nephews. That we can actually acknowledge and recognise them as being part of Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei. So that's my own personal whakaro.
Kia ora, tēnā kōrua. Jamie, a pātai has come through. It's actually come through on my messenger. So whānau, please send the pātai on Zoom. The pātai is, some people have been removed already. Does this rule apply to them? Can you answer that one, Jamie?
Sorry, I missed that. So some people have been removed already? Is it?
Yeah. Does this rule apply to them? Or if they've been removed, what does that mean for those whānau?
Well, I mean, I'd be interested to know who's, because being removed is quite serious. Being removed from the list is not something that we want to have happen, and actually really shouldn't happen under our trust deeds. So I'd be keen to explore that with the whānau involved. If that has happened, then we should look into that, because that's not right. What we're really talking about now is any members that are on or should be on as at the date of this special general meeting at this change, that will not affect their rights or their membership. Any change to the trustee will not affect their rights or their membership as at the 13th of September. So we just need to be careful that we make sure that if people have been removed and that's been done incorrectly, then we should look at that and correct that, because that shouldn't happen.
Ka pai. Kia ora. Well, we don't have any further pātai, Jamie, so I think Are we moving to an ad break? Looks like it. Right, ka pai. Well, whānau, mā taki mai, we are going to head over to a short ad break and we will be back soon with the rest of our agenda. Nau mai hoki mai e te whānau. Well, we've done the first part of our kōrero, and it was awesome to see a few pātai coming through, but whānau, just a reminder, please send through those pātai unless you're fully informed. We've got 5 of these awesome limited edition Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei umbrellas to give away. So these are going out to 5 lucky winners, and those winners are selected through the pātai. So please send through some pātai whānau if you are not, if you need more information or if you need more clarifying around any of these topics tonight. Well, whānau, we're going to be moving straight into the next part of our presentation, and Jamie is going to lead us into the loan ratios. Kia ora, Jamie.
Kia ora, Monique, thank you. Yeah, so the next section is around the loan ratios. Again, another quite important change. There are 2 parts to this resolution 3, which is relating to the loan ratios. The first part is around increasing what we call our loan to value ratio from 30% to 40%. And the second part of that resolution is to increase what we call the interest cover ratio from 50% to 67%. And I'll explain each one of those in turn. In essence, what this resolution does, whānau, is it gives us more capacity and more ability to borrow. So why are we needing that? There's a number of very good reasons why we want this change. The first one is around opportunities. Whānau, we know there are opportunities both commercially, but also to help advance our strategy and our social agenda. One particular one relates to the Kupe Street Ridge. So as whānau may know, we are underway with purchasing tranches of land along Kupe Street and trying to reclaim as much of that land as we can over the next few years. We will need some capital and some extra capacity to do that. We also want to be able to increase our distributions to whānau. So that's the distributions that go to Whaimaya for them to deliver all the awesome mahi that they do with their programs, grants, with the Toi Ora program, the Toi Tupu program. All of those benefits and supports for whānau are really, really important. So we need to keep that going and then keep increasing that support. And we know that's going to be important, whānau, over this next period, particularly in the COVID environment. It has been really hard for a number of whānau, number of households and businesses. So we need to be there to be able to support and this is one way that we can help with that. Another important reason is around our diversification plan, whānau. So many of you will know that we are a property company. We have a large property interests in land and buildings in central Auckland and of course in Ōrākei. We're looking to diversify. Obviously our investment portfolio has performed well, our property portfolio has performed well over recent years, but we know that we want to ensure the long-term protection of our asset base by diversifying, by managing the overall risk of our portfolio by increasing the diversification of our asset base. And the last and probably most important reason for wanting to increase these ratios is around headroom, is around safety. What we don't want to have happen is if we have another significant financial crisis or economic crisis, a bit like what we saw in the global financial crisis back in 2008-9, where property prices dropped significantly. We don't want to be in the position where we have to sell our assets or sell assets in a fire sale type situation where the market is decreasing. That would be a really, really bad outcome for us. So we always try and keep headroom, what we call headroom, which is really a bit of gap between what our ratios say that we should be holding and what we are actually holding in terms of our debt levels. So we are very careful about that, whānau. We do want to maintain that headroom, and that is another really important reason for this increase in the loan-to-value ratio. I'll move on to what is the loan-to-value ratio, because this is something whānau might not be sort of familiar with. In fact, it's not something you come across every day, but if I try and explain it as simply as I can, the loan-to-value ratio really is it's a measure of our debt levels or our borrowings from banks relative to the value of our assets. So if you think about your own situation, if you're lucky enough to have a mortgage, the bank might let you borrow 80% of the value of that home that you're purchasing. Your loan-to-value ratio would be then 80%. So your debt is 80% of the value of your assets. In our case, we consider the level of our bank debt relative to the value of our property assets. So, but really, really important to note, whānau, our property assets exclude certain special lands, and I'll describe those in a minute. Special lands that we will never encumber with debt, or we will never mortgage. Those are our hapu lands and what we call inalienable lands. The Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei ratio at the moment is around 22%. So as you can see, we keep a good buffer between our actual ratio and that 30% level that we currently have, and obviously hope to push that to 40% with the changes. If I move on to what this hapu land and an alienable land concept, because I think it is important that whānau know about this. I'll show you this map of Ōrākei and the lands that we own in Ōrākei. The hapu land relates to really the land in and around our marae and Papakainga. So the schedule there, if you can see the hapu land, the red and the brown colours are our hapu land, as well as our whenua rangatira. So that the whenua rangatira, the marae lands are really what we call our hapu lands. And then we have this concept of an inalienable land, which is our housing along Cooper Street. That is defined as our inalienable land that we will never encumber with mortgages, and we don't use as security. So that land is protected for all time. It is important that you all know that. I'll talk now just very briefly about the interest cover ratio. So this is again another part of the resolution that we're looking to pass, is around increasing the interest cover ratio. What the interest cover ratio means is it really talks to the level of interest relative to the level of our profit, or our earnings before interest and tax, which is a measure of our profit. Obviously, we want to keep that EBIT as high as possible and our interest as low as possible. But but increasing the ratio will align with our increase in our loan to value ratio. And I should mention, Whānau, that in terms of a risk profile, we still think that that is really quite conservative, the ratios that we are proposing. Our banks are currently, this would line up with our banks. So our banks both have a loan to value ratio requirement of 40% and that interest cover ratio of 67%. And clearly they have very strict requirements around how we manage our debt and look after our assets. So that lines up with our banks. And if you compare us to similar entities, our peers in the listed property trusts, etc., the ratio for the loan to value ratio anyway is around 50 to 60%. So we are a lot more conservative than that. And so we should be. We want to protect and preserve our assets for generations to come and grow those assets. So we will always be a bit more prudent than others. But nevertheless, we want more capacity because we want to do more for Whānau and deliver more. Perhaps I'll pause there and just ask if Marama or Cuts has anything to add around our loan to value ratio changes and the rationale.
No, thank you, Jamie. You've been very clear on that. But you know, Whānau, if you still got questions, please, this is the time to ask it, so that you know we can give you the comfort that you'll need to ensure that when you make your vote, you are making the decision that you want to make for this. So, thank you, Jamie.
Kia ora. Thanks, Marama. Yeah, it is really important because it can be a scary topic to talk about debt. And I know we've had other hui with Whānau have asked the question around debt and how we can ensure that we're being careful. And I can assure you that we are. I think those debt levels, as I mentioned, are well within our comfort levels. And we are very, very, very careful around protecting our asset base. So yeah, but Whānau, please, any parts on this, very happy to talk to it either now or another time. Monique, do you have any parts coming through from Whānau on this particular topic?
It looks like most of our whānau must fully understand this kaupapa by now, Jamie. They must have all linked in on the 3 previous webinars. So that's good to see that this forum is working for our whānau.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's good to hear. But yeah, please, Whānau, any queries, any questions, any questions are a good one in this space, because it's not necessarily something we deal with every day. So I do have another map, which I'll show now just very quickly. Just so Whānau aware, this is Central Auckland, the Britomart, just highlights our key park assets, Te Tongaroa, which is defined in our trust deed, has a special definition in our trust deed as protected land. Now I'm showing you that because protected land has a special character. We can mortgage or put mortgages against this land, but we can't sell this land without putting it through a special resolution or a special general meeting. So if we were ever to sell Key Park, we would need to make sure that that is put through Whānau for your consideration and ultimately your decision. Moving on from that, I do have a graph that I would like to show you, which sort of demonstrates where we've come to in terms of our debt and asset ratio. So this graph shows you that whilst these numbers are not finalised for FY20 yet, a little sneak preview will show you that we're actually continuing to increase our asset base even in these really difficult times. And I think this is a testament to the amazing forward thinking of those who came before, the decisions that were made back in the day and everything that was fought for, and of course the current management approach, which is very cautious, careful, considered, but commercial as well, commercial and smart. Whānau, it looks like this year we might have equity, which is assets less all of our debt, of around $1 billion, which is really an amazing achievement. But we know we've got to make sure that that works for us, that we get the help to whānau that need it, that we're delivering on those services and programs. But just so you know, whānau, your business is in strong shape. Okay, I'll move on to the next topic, which is around electronic voting, hui and notices. So this is the resolution, relatively straightforward decision, I think, in terms of moving us into the 21st century, which is allowing us to have hui, to have voting, and to issue notices by electronic means. That means that we can do things like this for our hui. We can do electronic voting. We can send notices by email rather than having to post them out. So it really is a sort of a no-brainer resolution, but really important one. You'll note in the amendments, there are lots of amendments relating to this particular resolution, because wherever we mention voting or hui or AGMs or SGMs or notices, we have to now add a section or a line or a sentence that allows us to do that digitally or via online means. So there's lots of changes there. What it won't mean, whānau, is that if you want to continue having your notices by post, if you like the postal approach, kite pai. We're not going to change that. This is just another tool for our kite. It's another way for us to engage with our whānau and make sure that wherever you are, wherever you live, you can participate in whānau business. It's probably enough of this resolution, but Marama Cuts, do you have anything to elaborate on that? Or?
Hey, kia ora, Jamie. I'd just like to encourage everyone. You know, it is important to be informed, and obviously we're all looking at a computer right at the second. So this is one of the platforms that actually makes it a lot easier to share information. So yeah, it's, as Jamie said, it's a bit of it's right in your face as we are tonight. So yeah, let's get to it, whānau. Kia ora tātou.
Kia ora, Kat. Thank you. Okay, the next resolution is around the Trust Act. So this is quite again, an important one around amending our trust deed to align with a new piece of legislation called the Trust Act 2019. So it's a replacement of a very old piece of legislation, the Trust Act 1956. And it does a few things. In terms of clarification around responsibilities, duties, information retention. These are requirements that we do have to meet, whānau, as part of our statutory or legal obligations, but we thought it was really important that whānau got to see what the impact of those changes are. So that's why we've put them through this SGM process, so that you can see what changes are being made because of the impact of the Trust Act. And there are some, important changes. So it does make explicit some duties of the trust. So we have a duty of care, a duty to invest prudently. So those duties are now explicit in the trust deed, even though they were things that we operated by, that we didn't necessarily have them explicit in our trust deed. It does provide some important information or additional requirements around documentation. So our trust current process around documentation is that we can destroy relevant documentation after 7 years. Not that we have, but in the Trust Act, the new Trust Act, key information relating to the trust must be retained for the life of the trust. So basically, forever, we have to maintain those key documents, and that's fine. That's important, but it is a change, and we do need to make sure that we reflect that in our deed and in the way that we operate. And the only other point that I'd raise around the Trust Act is that there is now an additional requirement around a disputes resolution process. So whilst our trustee does have a disputes resolution process around membership and whakapapa, it doesn't have a sort of a general disputes resolution process. So that has been added in as part of the alignment to this Trust Act. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Whānau, if you, Monique, is there any pātai that we can talk to at this stage?
Kia ora, Jamie. We've got a few pātai, but it's not actually pertaining to this kaupapa. So I might just leave those till the end, if that's all right. It's a bit of a mix, so we'll carry on. Kia ora, Jamie.
Yeah, kapai. Okay, well, we're to the last couple of resolutions. These are really around improvements and clarifications and yeah, just improving the overall quality of the document. Resolution 6 pertains to improvements and clarifications of the trust deed. A couple of points I would note on this one, and again, they're all listed in your booklet, every change that relates to this particular resolution. Upon settlement and the beginnings of the transition, if you like, between into the post-settlement structure and the setup of the new trust, there are lots of requirements around how that original board should be set up, how the original functioning of the trust should work. Obviously, we're 9 years down the line, 8 years down the line, 9 years down the line. We can remove those transitional provisions because they're no longer relevant. Another important change that improves the overall processing around the trust and the performance of the trust is around quorum. So again, the number of elected representatives over the years has moved from 11 to now 9. So we've had the quorum reflect that in the document, so that when members are meeting, there needs to be a majority of elected representatives present, whereas previously that had a specific number, which obviously, if the numbers change, we need to be able to reflect the difference in the quorum. And we're just some improvements around the processes around elections. So it doesn't change the way that elections are run per se, but it just improves some of the things around the way that an election is managed. And again, all of those are outlined in the documentation. And the last resolution is around sort of administrative errors and inaccuracies. So I should make clear that none of these have ever made the trust deed invalid. But what we did notice as we worked through, and as the more you work with the trust deed, you sort of realise these things. It's things like reference errors, perhaps referencing incorrect paragraphs. There were a number of sort of grammatical improvements that we could make to the document, and of course we could improve the use of te reo Māori throughout the document. So that included having macrons appropriately throughout and applying appropriate grammar to the document as well. So again, lots and lots of significant, lots and lots of changes, but really just to improve the quality of the document rather than any sort of fundamental changes. Again, they're all listed in that documentation, and we just think that they will better reflect where we are today and improve the overall quality of that document. So, so that's it. That's it in terms of the resolutions. Perhaps I'll pause there and just ask if Marama Cuts has anything more to add on any of those resolutions or the changes that we're proposing.
Nothing from me, Jamie.
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I was just wanted to say to the whānau, to the iwi, that we're at a pretty awesome position in this time as Ngāti Whātua Uri. So these opportunities obviously don't come around too often, and we've got a great one right here to call some shots whānau, and I'd just like to express my sincere congratulations to everybody that's participated in this process, and encourage you all to please get your votes happening. We've only got a week out, it's not long, and we really need to get this past the line, whānau. Whichever way it is, I have my whakaaro about certain things and aspects of this kaupapa, but and I've voted, so now it's up to us. We all get an opportunity here, whānau. So yeah, kia ora tātou.
Kia ora, Kats, and tautoko your kōrero e te tuakana, not just because you're my tuakana, but But yes, I just also want to remind our whānau that voting is very important, but also turning up on the day, September the 13th, at the SGM is just as important, as we need 100 of our whānau members attending the entire hui. So whether you're connecting online or whether we're sitting next to each other 2 meters apart at the marae, if that option is still available, we need you all to be connecting with us on September the 13th. So Jamie, I guess just before we move to your closing kōrero about the SGM information, I've got a few pātai here. So one pātai is around the membership, and just answer it. Anyone can kind of answer this, so jump in if you're able to answer this. Is there a definition of what a close connection is? So I think that's in regards to membership. So that's a pretty good pātai whānau. Pēhea o whakaro, Marama.
Well, I think this, this relates to the whāngai, question that we've grappled with for a number of years. And, as I said, we have a lot of our whāngai members who have lived amongst us for years and years and have contributed just as much as our toto, our uri have. And I think this is a great time to be able to recognise and tell them that they are part of us. We also have, our whānau who are adopted in and out. So, again, this is another opportunity to acknowledge them. But also another really, really important part of our whānau are our partners, our husbands and our wives. And those that, especially our aunties that have borne all these Ngāti Whātua uri, and giving them that recognition as well. So it's, this is not about, bringing your best friend on board and saying, oh, they've got a close connection. This is about true whanaungatanga and what that means to us as a iwi. So that's my answer to that question.
Ka pai. Anything to add there, Cuts?
Definitely tautoko Kazi's whakaaro yeah, it's going to be in the future. It's going to be something we may have to revisit by everyone's into labelling and putting boxes around things, but if we can follow our Ngākau Māori and that, we should be able to get through it.
Another pātai has come in, and it says, will Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei be using DNA register to prove they are blood? And I think we've had Ngaitahu, I believe. We went down for a hui there, and I believe that they were actually starting that process of looking into that. Is that something for the future, if required, do you think, Marama?
That's for me, is quite a sensitive topic in a sense, because, DNA testing is not our way of doing things, but that's not to say that it could not be considered for the future. The Trust certainly hasn't had that discussion yet. And, maybe we will look at how it goes for Ngaitahu and what that means for them. But at the moment, no. We're going to be reliant on our whakapapa lines and what those connections are.
Ka pai. Kia ora. Another pātai has come through relating to the LVR. If the LVR is increased, is there a plan for building whānau homes on the tranches we are buying back, Jamie?
Yes, yes, there is. Absolutely. So we know that whānau housing is one of our key priorities. The purpose of buying back that land is ultimately to have more whānau come home to live close to the marae and the papakoanga. So yes, that is absolutely the case. And we're looking at innovative ways to do that as well with partners and those who can support us through that process. So it's not just about us as well, just putting everything up. You know, we can work together with other agencies and other support partners. So we get the whānau housing, but we don't necessarily put everything up ourselves. But yep, absolutely, it's a priority, whānau housing in Ōrākei. And Maramoa Cuts might want to add to that. But
yeah, kia ora. I'm down for whānau housing in Ōrākei, although I have a house here in Whakatane. But yeah, it'd be awesome to see our whānau living back on the whenua, and there's obviously a need. There's a lot of people calling for it, and yeah, it'll be nice to see over the next, what, maybe 10 years, or even closer, to have our whānau back in there, definitely. So it's definitely a priority for me too.
Ai, tautoko ngā kōrero a Jamie Rawa ko Kurt, absolutely. You know, the amazing thing that we have is that we can actually do this, and to be able to provide housing for our whānau is an absolute priority for the Trust, because not only is it for our generations now, but it's for our future generations, and for them to be able to come home and be as close to their whānau and to their marae as possible is the aspiration, is the moemoeā that we have for them. So yes.
Kia ora, Marama. So whānau, I guess in regards to the LVR, there was a lot of kōrero around building more homes for our whānau, ensuring that we have enough headspace, headroom, and also ensuring that we are providing more opportunities, I guess, for all of our whānau, ahakoa nohia, which is awesome. And we know that we've connected with so many whānau throughout these 4 webinars. So we hope to see you on September the 13th, whānau. And just want to say from our team, I wish I could walk out there right now and show you the hard workers behind the scenes, because they're in the other room. But a big mihi to all of our team, all of our Trust team have been working hard on being able to provide this kaupapa to you guys, and to be able to reach as many whānau as possible. So that has been awesome to see your guys' names pop up on the chat on the side, asking these awesome pātai over the past month. And we hope to see you logged in on Zoom if that's the way forward. But this has been really awesome, whānau. And to all of our panelists too that have come on, all of our board members that have really fronted this kaupapa alongside Jamie, our CEO, our boss, the CEO of the Ngāti Whātua Trust. Big mihi to Jamie too, and also Andrew. Andrew was on the first one. He's the CEO for Whairawa, and he had a lot of information. But a big mihi to you all, whānau, and I'll just do a round robin and start with Marama for any final kōrero before Jamie wraps us up and before Cuts does our closing karakia. Marama, any final thoughts?
Tēnā koe anō, Monique. Look, I just really wanted to take this opportunity, as you say, to really acknowledge and thank on behalf of the Trust, our Trust staff who have worked so hard and diligently to ensure that this SGM goes ahead, but all the backroom work that has been done. So Jamie, to you, to your staff, especially Natasha. I love the name Ninja, just suits her to the ground. But to Te Amo Haere, to Lisa, to Monique, Dave, Keela, you know, all these ones that have been working so hard in the background to ensure that this is done on behalf of the Trust. I sincerely and genuinely thank you guys. Love your mahi. And the beautiful thing about this whole thing is that you're doing this because you love our whānau as well. And that is just, yeah, that's amazing. So I just want to really thank you all. I'm looking forward to the 13th. And I'm looking forward to seeing our whānau online and seeing how we can actually do this SGM, either our tinana or our wairua online. Kia ora whānau.
Kia ora. Jamie, if we'll just carry on with you onto the next panui, and then Cuts will wrap us up with his final thoughts and our karakia whakamutunga.
Kia ora, Monique. Thank you. Look, I want to talk about what Marama said. The team has been incredible. I'm extremely proud to work for Ngāti Whātua Ake. This has been an amazing year in many respects. But you know, the team that we have that working for you whānau is truly the best. They truly are. So I'm very, very proud to be part of that team in this journey. It's an exciting time whānau for Ngāti Whātua Ake. I know it's a hard time too. So I think, yeah, so my aroha and thoughts go out to you all because it is challenging. But we will get through it together and know that your hapu and your iwi is here for you. So yes, so thank you all. I do want to mihi to the Trust Board as well. They've been working so hard behind the scenes to line everything up. Many meetings over and above the standard, what you would expect, because they are doing this for the love of you. So again, we don't see that, but their mahi has been incredible, and that is what is leading us to this place where we've given you the best opportunity to vote, to have your voice heard in what is a very significant time for Ngāti Whātua Ake. So kia ora koutou, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Hei, kia ora no tātou. Tēnei wā ka tuku ngā mihi kia tātou katoa e huitahi nei tēnei pō. Mena pō kua hipa I te marama nei, no reira tēnei rā ngā mihi. Tuku atu ngā mihi me ngā whakaro ki a rātau, nā tine aitua o te wā. Ai tēnei wā ka tuku taku mihi aroha ki te whānau makoare. Hei te rāhoroi nei ka hoki tō tātou nei pāpara ki te kōpua te whenua. No reira Uncle Tom, tēnei nā uri o rāke e mihi ana ki aku. Kia koutou rā, Nanny Grace, aku nā tuahine, aku nā taina tuakana, tēnei mātou e mihi ana. No reira te whānau, yeah, big mihi to us all, and yeah, we'll go out with the karakia, no reira. Wairea, wairea ki runa, wairea ki raro, wairea ki roto, wairea ki waho. Wairea ki Ranginui, wairea ki Papatuanuku, tūkua tuetama, ka aputa ki te tāwhanga nui no rongo. Koe o mai te tipu ka tū whakaekenuku, ka tū whakaekerani. Ka tō manawa, ka tōku manawa ka irihia. Uhi, wero, oi te mauri, aumie, hui e, tai ki e.
Tai ki e.
Kia ora tātai.
Kia ora.